Today is Sunday, July 2nd, 2023. We are already into July, and tomorrow is July 3rd, and Tuesday is July 4th, the Independence Day in America. They celebrate the day big time, and they travel a lot to hang around with their family members and their friends. And so it would be a lot of berserk travel in America. But we do have a war between the Ukraine and Russia, and the famous guy Yevgeny Prigozhin is the leader of the Wagner group. So as with several days before, let's find out who is Yevgeny Prigozhin and what's the Wagner group doing in Ukraine. Here we go. This article is from YNET News, and I am trying to read the English article to practice English, to learn English. Yes, I'm reading one English article each day to understand English and to memorize key expressions and words. So it's a dual-pronged approach. Who are you, Yevgeny Prigozhin, Wagner Group's powerful Jewish leader? The former felon turned restaurateur turned militia chief gained notoriety as Putin's chef, responsible not only for keeping the bellies of the Russian president's troops full, but also for assisting in the execution of his global military and imperial ambitions. Ynet published June 24th, 2023, 8:03. In the 1980s, he was sent to prison. In the 1990s, he set up a hot dog stand. Since then, the man known as Putin's chef has become much more than a chef. This week, the same oligarch and close confidant of the Russian president, Yevgeny Prigozhin, has once again made headlines lobbing accusations that his private militia Wagner Group was attacked by the Russian army under the orders of Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu. The Wagner Group began its operations in 2014 during the war in eastern Ukraine, and many of its members are former Russian military personnel. The private military company has long been accused of deploying mercenaries to Syria, Libya, and sub-Saharan Africa to fight on behalf of Kremlin interests. In July 2018, 3 journalists investigating the activities of the Wagner Group in Central Africa were killed in an ambush. Wow, that's terrible. Prigozhin, 62, is considered one of the owners of the company and has therefore been sanctioned heavily by the United States and the European Union. Although he denies any connection to the company, like Putin, Prigozhin grew up in St. Petersburg. He was born on June 1st, 1961, to a Jewish father. He lost his father when he was only a year old. That's sad. His adoptive father was also Jewish. Prigozhin and Putin in better days. In the 1980s, he was sent to prison after being convicted of fraud and theft. With the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1990, he was released from prison after serving 9 years. In the turmoil of the 1990s, Prigozhin established a successful hot dog stand and his business expanded. Afterward, Prigozhin turned to the restaurant business. He opened a high-end restaurant in St. Petersburg, frequented by wealthy and celebrity customers, including Putin himself, who at that time had transitioned from the KGB to politics. His catering company Concord worked with the Kremlin, earning Prigozhin the nickname Putin's chef. Russian media describes him as a billionaire with enormous wealth acquired through government contracts. His business includes a corporation that provides meals to millions of Russian soldiers as well as to police officers, patients in hospitals, and school children to the tune of at least $3 billion over the past decade. To the tune of, that's good expression, to the tune of about, that means about, just about, or ballpark number is to the tune of at least $3 billion over the past decade. To the tune, sound, right? Music, sound, to the tune of. Prigozhin and his Wagner fighters after conquering the Ukrainian Tower of Solidar. Yeah, that's Prigozhin right there. In addition to managing mercenaries, he is also associated with the Internet Research Agency, a company accused of Internet trolling, along with other companies he allegedly funded and operated. Prigozhin and other actors were accused of employing the Kremlin's troll factory to disseminate fake news to aid Donald Trump in defeating Hillary Clinton in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. His and the Kremlin's troll factory created one of the largest disinformation campaigns ever recorded. 71,000 tweets aimed at presenting Russia's version of the events surrounding the downing of Malaysia Airlines flight MH17. Additionally, they published thousands of messages expressing support for Brexit. Prigozhin has tried to deny his links to the Wagner Group, but a February 2018 Washington Post report exposed his ties to the private military company. As per the report, Prigozhin was responsible for sending Russian mercenaries to an operation near Deir ez-Zor in Syria, where a joint military facility of American forces and Kurdish rebels supported by the United States was attacked by pro-Assad 300 to 500 fighters. Approximately 100 of those fighters were killed in the operation, while no Americans or rebels were harmed. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. The report revealed a call between Prigozhin and the Syrian minister in which the Russian oligarch mentioned receiving special authorization to proceed. I have a pleasant surprise for Assad between February 6th and 9th, said Prigozhin, to which the Syrian minister replied, "We will pay you." The approval mentioned by Prigozhin likely came from the Kremlin and Putin himself, as indicated by U.S. intelligence reports detailing frequent conversations between the Russian billionaire and Putin's chief of staff in the service of Putin in Ukraine. While actively participating in the conflict on Ukrainian soil, the unfolding drama in Russia continues to escalate at an alarming pace after Prigozhin staged a full-fledged rebellion against the Russian military leadership, with whom he has been at odds for an extended period. On Saturday morning, Wagner forces advanced deeper into Russian territory as Prigozhin threatened to reach the capital of Moscow. His fighters seized a series of Russian military installations after crossing the border from Ukraine, where they had been supporting the Russian campaign against Ukrainian forces. Prigozhin and his Wagner fighters. Prigozhin and his Wagner fighters in Rostov-on-Don. They claimed to have taken control of the military headquarters and other facilities in Rostov-on-Don, the capital of Rostov region bordering Ukraine. He had said he had 25,000 fighters who would restore justice. Later that night, he declared that his fighters had crossed the border from Ukraine into Russia and were prepared to go all the way. He then claimed that his forces had downed a Russian military helicopter. Russia says it thwarted major Ukrainian offensive, killed hundreds. Kremlin says forces killed 250 Ukrainian troops, as well as destroyed 16 tanks, 3 infantry fighting vehicles, and 21 armors. Studying in Germany might be cheaper than you think. Yeah, I want to study in Germany. Yes. What happened? Is that all? Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for listening. Take care. Bye-bye. But before we go, we learn such expression as to the tune of, yes, that's it. Thank you. Bye-bye.